That was labour, in case you weren't sure. In this video, you'll learn what not to say to an expectant mother while you're coaching them through labour. There'll also be some bonus tips which may actually help her and support her through the labour experience, making you the hero of the hour. No matter what happens, she'll always be the hero. The mother's always the hero. Let's get into it. Hey friends, this is Paul from Dad Mastery. I'm on a clumsy journey through the happy chaos of fatherhood. If you're on a similar journey and you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you get notified of new videos coming up. My mission is to help you level up on your mind, your body, your relationships, and your wealth. When my wife and I were preparing for labour, I had fear, I had uncertainty during that time. So I can't imagine what my wife was going through, the one who's actually carrying the baby, the one who actually has to give birth to the baby. It was scary enough for me, so it must have been crazy scary for her. How do you prepare for one of the biggest and most important life-changing events you'll ever experience? Well, I did what any awesome husband would do, and I googled how can you help your partner through labour. There's no rule book, college course, there's no diploma, there's no PhD you can do in how to be the best coach or support for an expectant mother. Certainly not for the partner of the mother. Obviously there's midwives and staff and so on, and there are labour coaches out there. So we look to Google, we look to blogs. Let me just give you some context by telling you a little bit about my wife, Pascal. Pascal is intelligent, beautiful, an awesome mother, a fantastic human. But there's not a lot of empathy. She's not really into the fluffy things of life. She's a pretty straight up talker. She'll say it as it is. She's brutally honest. Brutally honest. But a lot of what I found in these blogs was just absolute fluff. There's no way my wife would have bought any of it. Let me pull this blog up on screen right now. Okay, now this is a really nice looking blog. It's very pretty. This blog is telling me this is the things that I should be using as coaching tools for Pascal during labour. And the first tip it gives is relax. It's safe to let go. Oh, don't say it's safe to let go. Maybe the staff could get away with that. It's not a poo. It's a baby. There's no letting go. It's get it out fast. Look, there might be a few tender moments, a few moments of tranquility where music's playing and we're thinking, well, this is quite nice. Saying relax, let it go will likely infuriate her and may even land you a slap in the face. Number 2 on what not to say to your wife during labour is millions of women have done this before you. I wonder what Pascal would say about this one. Pascal, what would you say to me if I said during labour, millions of women have been there before you?
It would be an eye roll moment. I'd probably just tell you fuck off.
In that moment, that life-changing moment of giving birth, she doesn't give a shit about the millions of women before her. She's not thinking about or feeling part of the sisterhood of women who've given birth before her, at least not in that moment. So this is not a good comment to say during labour. Number 3, there's... Number 3 is, there's lots of room for the baby to come through. Your body was made to do this. Can you imagine that in the moment? Honey, I know you're in pain, but there's lots of room down there. You're made to do this. Slap in the face. The baby has to literally move around a corner past the tailbone before it takes its melon-sized head through the space that's the size of a keyhole. Not lots of room. Here's a quick 1950s birthing lesson for you. Don't worry, it's not gross. It was done in the 1950s.
To you and your baby. The baby's head pushes against the side of the uterus. He must make a detour to get out the opening. Try not to squeeze. This will help the sphincter muscles relax. You may suddenly wonder how the baby can possibly get through that small opening. Don't worry, you'll stretch enough.
The female body goes through massive change through the pregnancy and labour. Huge rushes of hormones, ligaments and muscles are moving and stretching and changing shape. The pelvis is changing its structure to be able to give birth. Yes, the female body was made to do this. No, there's not much room down there. Number 4, your mother, your grandmother, and your great-grandmother are proud of you right now. Oh, honey, your mother, who's right here, your grandmother, and your great-grandmother, whose spirit is with us right now. Oh, and your auntie, she's really proud of you. And you know that lady down at the post office, Mrs. Atkins, the next-door neighbor? Remember that girl that you went to school with? She had a baby too. She's proud of you also. Same response as the other ones. Not a good thing to say. Maybe you could say, I'm proud of you right now. Don't worry about great-grandma. The next one is one of my personal choices and a bit of a pet hate for me. Actually, it's a pet hate for Pascal as well. It's two words that I don't ever think should be used during labour, and that is, good job. Good job. When I hear those two words, I just think of a puppy having its head patted because it's gone to fetch a slipper. Oh, my slipper. Good job. Good job. Oh, puppy. Good job. Not something you say to a woman giving birth. Funny story, the midwife in our labour actually said good job probably 50 times during the night. But we were tolerant of that because she was doing a pretty good job. Good job. The next one is just let the baby get itself born. You just get out of the way. Each contraction is a new beginning. What? Oh no, it's okay, don't worry. The previous 100 contractions you've had, which have sent your body to the brink of exhaustion, you're barely holding on to any resilience that you had, forget about those. This next one's a new beginning. You just get out of the way. Let the baby birth itself. Number 7 of what not to say is, let's begin this birth anew. Just let your breath wash away the last 5 hours. This is actually, somebody actually wrote this. Is that something someone would say? We're not in a Shakespeare play. Let's begin this birth anew, just washeth away the breath of the last 5 hours. And let's begin now, back at the beginning. If you're 5 hours in, you could be there for another 12 hours. I'd rather just say, think happy thoughts and risk another slap in the face. Guys, if you're liking what you're hearing, please give me a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. It really does help the channel. Let's get into the second half where I give you some actual takeaways that you can use when coaching someone through labour. So that leads me into what we can say, and a bit of a disclaimer. I'm not a doula. I never even knew what a doula was until I Googled it the other day. I'm not a midwife. I have no qualifications in this, and I'm not an expert in labour in any way whatsoever. All I can share is what worked for me. All I can share is our experience of it. And like I said at the beginning, we did a little bit of research, but we just kind of went with the flow at the end of the day. All you do know is that you're going to go in there and you're going to come out with a baby. What happens in between is really uncertainty. So here's a bonus checklist of what you could say to help coach during labour. Help her prepare for her contraction. When Pascal was going through contractions, I could see it on the machine. I forget the name of the machine. I'll Google that in a second. You can tell the expectant mum that the contraction's about to come off, and Pascal really appreciated that. She felt reassured. She knew the intensity of the pain would be reducing very shortly. So I kept her up to date as to what the machine thing was doing. What was it called? I'm going to look it up. I need to look it up. It's a tocodynamometer. Tocodynamometer. It's the machine that measures contractions. So when you're ready for another contraction, you can mentally prepare her for one coming, and you can reassure her that it's easing off really soon. That was something that worked for us really well. Very simple. You got this. You've got this. It's simple words. In that moment, Pascal's mind was elsewhere. She wasn't ready for a conversation. I couldn't say something like, just wash away your breath for the previous 5 hours. Think about the space down there and the women and your grandmother and all of that stuff. She isn't thinking about that stuff. She needed simple language. And that was, you got this. Tell her you're proud of her. Because this is taking massive courage. She needs to hear that positive reinforcement. Tell her you are proud. A little phrase you can use is, you're going to meet your little one soon, you're going to meet your son soon, you're going to meet your daughter soon. And that's a really nice one, I think, because it makes you feel like the family's going to be together really soon. Use nature and visualization. Pascal and I had this big plan of visualization because we like rock climbing. So we're like, okay, well, we'll imagine that we're climbing up a rock and we're on that last hold. And it's a really tough hold and you just got to reach that last one. You just got to step it up and dig in deep and all of that. Or maybe you're hiking up a mountain and you've not got far to go. You're almost at the peak. You can do this. But the reality was Pascal couldn't concentrate because the contractions were just so intense and sporadic because it was an induced birth. So they were all over the shop. It was impossible difficult for her to visualize anything. The best we could do is that we had the iPad at the end of the bed with pictures of mountains on it. That was the absolute best we could do. Thank you all of you Canadians for the pictures of the Canadian Rockies, because they got my wife through labor. The next one is to ask, what can I do for you? What can I do to help right now? What do you need from me? She may just need to hold your hand. She may need to squeeze your hand until the bones break. She may just need a glass of water. Asking the kind of questions that are going to help her feel supported. Finally, be there. Be present. Stay off social media. Be there by her side unless instructed by staff to move aside. Just be there for her. She's going to need you, because it is a beautiful and wonderful thing, despite it being intense, bloody painful, and a massive stress. The fact that you've listened this far in the video means you're probably having a baby, so congratulations, it's happening for you. I'm so happy for you. This video is certainly not intended to be a negative thing. I'm roasting a blog a little bit. Having a baby, it has been one of the most wonderful and beautiful experiences of my life. Stress, yes. Uncertainty, absolutely. Fear, hell yeah, but it's worth it. Going through that experience with Pascal brought us closer together. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.